Alright folks, today is all about the drum smoker. So we use these drums here for our competition cooking, but I got a couple here at home, and we're just going to do a cook on one and show you what it's all about today. So as you can see, it's a repurposed smooth-sided drum. Used to hold silica beads, so there's no nasty chemicals or anything there. We've got our mesh homemade fire basket, about half full with briquettes. I reckon that would give us still about 10 to 12 hours burn time right there. So the way it works is airflow intake at the bottom, regulated by these valves, and then there's an exhaust vent on top, which we've got a little cap on right now from this one because I just snuffed out after the last cook, and that's about as simple as it gets. So we put this terracotta pot lid on top of the coal basket as a bit of a heat deflector. Simple cooking grate just taken out of a Weber kettle, and that's about it. So we've got chimney starter pretty much fired up now. We've got our lamb shoulder ready to go, seasoned inside and out, and wrapped up today just because it was a little bit thin in parts, so wanted to just make sure it cooks all nice and evenly and nothing gets too dry, so I wrapped it up. And yeah, so I'll tip these coals in and show you how we sort of set it up for smoking. Okay, so I've dumped those coals in, and as you can see, we've got it set up here basically in the top of one corner. And so basically as the cook goes, that's just going to sort of slowly burn through, light up more coals as needed, but nothing's going to get too lit all at once because we're going to regulate the airflow with the ball valve down there. So anyway, I've got some beautiful Aussie oak wood here. How unreal does that look? Nice, good sized chunk as well. This is pretty dense stuff, so you should get some good burn time out of it. So we're going to place one there, and then one there, which should get lit in a little bit, and then a third one there. So this should give us a reasonable amount of smoke throughout probably the first 3 to 4 hours at least of the cook, and that's perfect. After that, it's going to be wrapped up in foil. Won't really matter about smoke anyway. So I'm just going to give that a couple of minutes for that smoke to clear up. We'll put the heat deflector on, put the grill grate in, put the lid on. Going to monitor the temp of the cook today with the trusty Inkbird, and that's about it. So might come back in a couple of hours time and check on the lamb. Okay, so it's just been a touch over 2 hours, and I've literally had to look at the drum once and make a tiny adjustment. Got the vents set like that, and temps hardly moved. That's what I love about the old ugly drum. Now, a little bit of a shout out to Adam York at UDS Australia. He's got some really nice parts for building your own drum smoker, like a hinge. We've just got a little hook here. It's a bit budget, but I'd love to get a nice hinge eventually for all our drums. Now, 2 hours in and getting some really nice colour, and just starting to have a little bit of fat render and some of those juices drip down. So happy with the smoke on the bottom. We've gotten enough flavour into that meat with the smoke so far, so I'm going to put that pan in there underneath the meat, and then give it about 2 more hours uncovered to let the bark develop, and then we'll make a little tent with some foil and get this finished off to pull apart tender. Okay, we're back here again, and we're at just under the 4 hour mark. Haven't even made an adjustment since I last took that lid off. So that's how consistent these drums run, and that is looking beautiful. So really happy with the flavour that's been made there. Now, the reason why I put that pan down there, you can see here, look how much juice has come out of that lamb. And we want to save that, because when we pull this apart, I just want to mix all those juices back in. Instead of worrying about a sauce, just let it sauce itself. Anyway, I'm going to get my big old roll of foil here, make a little tent, cover this up, and yeah, probably about another 2 hours and that's going to be pull apart tender. Okay folks, so once again, hardly touched it. It's been about another 2¼ hours, so total is about a 6½ hour cook now. So this is how it's been wrapped up, and we're just going to check it and see if we've got our Probe tender lamb yet. I've got my heat proof gloves on because this is going to be really hot, and don't really even need to worry about checking what the temp is. Oh my goodness, that just, no resistance there, just slips in. And check out all those juices, man. This is going to make the most amazing gravy, and just combine it back in with some of the pulled meat as well. So I'm going to wrap that up again, rest it in the esky for about ½ an hour, and then I'll show you what this looks like as it pulls apart. While the lamb's resting, may as well show you the shutdown procedure for the drum. So with 2 hands, I already took the cooking grate out. Now I'll just take our pot lid out, which is our heat deflector, and as you can see, it doesn't really look that much different from when we first loaded it up. You can see one of those Aussie oak chunks, gorgeous natural smoke Aussie oak chunks, hasn't even really lit up, and we got close to 7 hours cooking. The olive pip briquettes have just yeah, they're just so dense. It just doesn't take a lot to get the heat to stay consistently in the drum. Airflow is pretty minimal, so because we want to, you know, reuse a lot of that unlit charcoal, I'm just going to go through the shutdown procedure. So we shut all our vents, pop the top cap on, and that's just going to snuff it out. So next time, just give the charcoal a freshen up and dump in some more lit one. Alright guys, final moment of truth here. I took the strings off and I bumped it a little bit, and it's just already fallen apart. So just look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Give it a real good squish, and you don't need any sauce to go with that. Just mix all those juices back in with it. So hope you enjoyed seeing the UDS in action, and just remember, UDS Australia, it's a great Facebook group and page if you want to build one and have a crack yourself. It's really easy, lots of helpful people there to hang out with and give you plenty of advice. So anyway, not going to worry about a taste test because I'll guarantee you this tastes pretty awesome. Anyway, cheers guys.